Student, once again, very good morning to all of you. So hope you all are doing well. And मैं ये आशा करता हूँ आज का दिन आपके लिए बहुत अच्छा रहे. So dear student, please watch the video till the end. You will get a lot of insights. And at the end, I'm going to provide a lot of MCQ that is very much relevant for your UPSC and state PCS exam. That means, after you have completed all this discussion, so you have to practice this MCQ. Then only you understand how this kind of question they can use to frame this question. And also we are going to provide a lot of mains question, also 3 4 mains question on the basis of topics we are going to discuss. Already we are going to provide that in our YouTube community post, so please practice that. After this discussion I'll put every all this question in the YouTube community, so you can practice that. And dear student, first important thing is how you can get this PDF. You can simply scan this QR code to download our application, and within that application you will find not the today PDF, last 1.5 year PDF is available there. You can get it from there. And if you following that, instead of spending 3 hours in the newspaper reading, you can just complete in 45 minutes, and the rest of the time you have saved you can devote for your GS and optional studying. Okay, chaliye dear student. And those who are using iOS and iPad device, you can use Class Plus application with org with the org code as PKRMEJ. So, dear student, before starting the discussion, let me tell you one thing very clearly. So, this newspaper is not designed for our UPSC. So, so we are going to see how each and every article is important for our examination. If it is important, then which portion, whether it is prelims, mains, or interview, and how and what kind of question they can frame. So I'm going to discuss you with one by one. So please listen very carefully. Each and every article is very important. If you are able to identify, then a lot of things you can get directly from the newspaper. So first important article of the day. So government says Supreme Court cannot treat governor as alien or foreigner. This is what said by the union government. As governor is not a mayor post office, but checks on the hasty legislation by the state. Center tell Supreme Court ahead of hearing of the presidential reference. So first important is Article 143 of the Indian Constitution provide for the presidential reference. So in case there is any law that need interpretation of the Constitution, then president can make reference to the Supreme Court, and the presidential reference can be here by 5 Supreme Court judge bench. Should be more than at least 5 Supreme Court bench of justice. So Supreme Court cannot treat governor as alien or foreigner, or whom timeline can be imposed. So recently, there is a judgment that is being given by the Supreme Court on the on the power of governor and the president for reservation of the bill. It is said that the governor and president have to act within 3 months time. So this is what given. So the you can see here the judgment by the two judge bench imposing 3 month deadline on the governor and president when dealing with the state bill. So this is what the judgment that is being given by the Supreme Court judge in the Tamil Nadu and governor cases. But now the center is saying that governor is acting as a host on the bill that is being passed by the state government. So there should not be any time limit. As in original constitution, there is no time limit that is being imposed on the governor for passage of the bill. Okay? So you can see here governor are not just a missionary of center. So governor pass democratic legitimacy through indirect democratic representation. Governor are appointed by the president on order and advice of the council of minister. So governor are constitutional actor. So submission is part of the presidential reference over judgment, a plea against the Tamil Nadu governor R.N. Ravi delay in clearing the state bills. So R.N. Ravi, the governor of Tamil Nadu, keep delaying the bill without either approving or passing the bill. That led to the constitutional deadlock, and Tamil Nadu reached the Supreme Court to find a solution. And Supreme Court given its verdict that the governor and president need to act within 3 months. Chaliye, next important news is drop the ceasefire demand and say Kiev should make a deal to end this war. So recently we know that there is a summit between the US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin has happened at the Alaska. Dear student, good morning to all of you. Once again, very good morning. Hope you all are doing well. So in that summit, Donald Trump dropped the ceasefire. Rather, it is talking about comprehensive deal to end the war between the Russia and Ukraine. So Ukraine should make a deal to end the war with the Russia, because Russia is a very big power and they are not. So that means it is the responsibility of the small power to cooperate against the big power. So after hosting a summit with the Russian President Vladimir Putin that failed to yield any result, so Donald Trump also agreed with him, Putin that negotiations should go straight to peace settlement, not via ceasefire as Ukraine and its European ally until now US supported this demanding. That means, US is saying that there can be direct peace deal without going for ceasefire. Okay, so though the summit is not much successful in terms of achieving the object, but it helped a key role in bringing all party to the negotiating table. So India welcomed the progress made to end the conflict. So India always want good relation, because if Russia and US is having good relations, so we can get good trade with on the one hand there will be less tariff on the USA, because Donald Trump is threatening to impose 50% tariff. On the other hand, we'll also get access to the cheap oil from the Russia. And more difference between Russia and USA also led to the China coming closer to the Russia. So if there is a good relation and there is a conflict between USA and China, it is an Indian interest, so we are going to get benefit. Okay, chaliye. So dear student, you can join this program. Price is very nominal, yet you will get high quality test series evaluation. So you can join essay program as well. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So the Stalin flagged the impact of US tariff on the Tamil Nadu in letter to PM6 relief measures. So recently we know that Donald Trump imposed 50% tariff on Indian exports. So after that, that we are finding that different sector are going to impact, like automobile, textile, food, seafood sector. So in the last financial year, 31% of the total state's export, that is 52.1 billion, went to the US markets. Say, the CM, the slowdown export will result in mass layoff, 30 lakh jobs at risk textile sector. This is what they have mentioned, and they demand special support from the Prime Minister. So just read it. You can find Tamil Nadu has faced severe implications due to current 25 tariff it is currently imposing and planning to impose 50%. Last financial year, 20% of India total good exported, that is 433.6 billion, went to USA, and out of that 31% of Tamil Nadu, 52.1 billion goods exported went there. That means large chunk of the Tamil Nadu exported are directed towards the US market. So if there is a tariff or higher tariff on the Tamil Nadu product, so that is going to impact. Okay, so significant implications for Tamil Nadu manufacture and employment generations. Okay, so most affected sector, so textile, apparel, machinery, auto component. So whenever you are talking about how we can achieve our let's say the 5 trillion targets, 20 trillion targets, whatever may be the targets, so you have to factor the tariff war that has been going on the different part of the worlds. Then only and you can then only you can argue about what is the way out. Like, we need to diversify the market, we need to explore more market, we need to reduce our regulatory barrier and all this barrier and promote ease of doing business. Okay, so I think you can see about some of the suggestion that is being given. For example, textile sector urgently needs support to aspect correcting of the inverted duty structure. So what do you mean by inverted duty structure? This should be like that. What is inverted duty structure like that now? For example, let's say we are exporting dress, T-shirt, let's say. For T-shirt, let's say we are exporting T-shirt from India to USA. Let's say the finished product is taxed. I'm just giving you good examples. Let's say this is India, and we are importing man-made fiber. If man-made fiber raw material taxed at 25%, and the finished product, let's say T-shirt is taxed at the 15%. So that means it is easier or low cost to import the T-shirt rather than importing the raw material. So whenever you are importing raw material, that led to the manufacturing of the T-shirt in India. So this is what called inverted duty structure. To promote export, what should be our duty structure? Let's say India want to promote its textiles, so we need to have the input tax low and finished product tax should be high. But what happening in India, it's completely reverse. That is what called inverted duty structure. Okay, so for the man-made fiber. Man-made fiber means, this, I think you know about the sports dress we are wearing. So that is having a lot of synthetic materials. So value chain, by bringing entire value chain under 5% of the GST slab. Now, different textile item, they are being taxed differently. So they are planning to bring it under the single tax. So extension of 30% collateral free loan under the emergency credit line guarantee scheme. So during COVID-19 time, we have provided the emergency credit line guarantee schemes to the MSME sector. So we need to extend that. Okay, with a 5% interest subvention for 2-year moratorium. For example, let's say interest rate is 10%. If we are providing 5% interest subvention, that means farmer or the MSME have to pay only 5% of the interest. Okay, rest will pay by the government. So these are these few initiatives that need to be taken to overcome these challenges. Dear student, in our application, we are also providing a lot of PYQ free of cost. So you can scan this QR code to download. Even we are also providing NCERT test, so you can download to get it from there. So next is the amended Factory Act on the veil. Women in Jharkhand can soon work in the night shift. So recently we are seeing that so many states, they are amending their Factory Act to allow women to work in the night. So no doubt we need women to work night, because we need 50% of our populations to participate, empower. But while at the same time we need to ensure there should not be non-negotiable on the safety of the women. We need to ensure there should be proper convenience or transportation of the women from their home to the factory and return from their factory to the home, and there need to be proper security arrangement for the women. Okay, chaliye. So next is an anonymous life without Aadhaar identity. So this article is discussing about how Aadhaar is very important to to get all this beneficiary. Otherwise, you will face the exclusion. So this is very important for ethics paper. So ethics paper, there is something called uh, uh, use of technology without humanity. Use of technology without Gandhi, one of the scene of the Gandhi, one of the 7 scene of the Gandhi is technology without human scene is deadly scene. So here you can see a number of people from the tribal community across the Maharashtra faces the various in accessing education, healthcare, and government scheme because they are not registered with the unique identification authority of India. So I'm just reading it out. Please listen very carefully. So Aadhaar is 12-digit individual identification number issued by the unique identification authority of India on the behalf of government of India. Okay. So the Aadhaar card is issued by the government of India. The number serve as a proof of identity and address in India. Between 2013 and 14, Supreme Court said that Aadhaar card cannot be impediment to access to the subsidy. That means state government cannot make Aadhaar as a compulsory for access to the any subsidy schemes. So dear student, very good morning to all of you. If everything is okay, audio, please confirm me. Audio, video, if everything is okay, please confirm me. Please make this session participatory so that you'll get a lot of insight. So please make this participatory. Yeah? चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So subsidy, however, in 2015 it allowed to use register for monthly free ration and cooking gas subsidy. Gradually Supreme Court allowed that use of Aadhaar as identification beneficiary to reduce corruption and proliferate. So school failed. So the teacher told us that there is no point of bringing them to the school because without Aadhaar card. So here we are seeing that even in the school enrollment is denied to the kids having without Aadhaar cards. So they could not get the free school uniform, bags, stationery books, and midday meal scheme. That's they have approached the district collector. Even the district collector denied that. So that is what, no doubt, we should go for a digitalization. We should go for technology, but technology should not given deny to technology should not give deny to the weaker section of the society, because those who are weaker, they lack education, they lack the awareness. So if we exclude them, so they are going to face the problem. So next is Maharashtra Education Department Systematic Administration Reform for Achieving Learnings, that is called Saral Portal. Ask every student Aadhaar as it is linked student to the government schemes such as scholarship and fee uniform and textbook. Now recently when state government, they are making it compulsory to provide your Aadhaar card for getting all this benefit, but still there are so many people who don't have Aadhaar because of some reason or other. It is not their fault, because of education problem, because of lack of awareness. So these people are facing the exclusions. It is hard to believe that children are refused admission in the government school for not having the Aadhaar card. So under UDI. So dear student, you have to remember this Unified Information System for Education Plus. So this is a portal that is being provided in a district level to collect all the information related to education. So that, when we have all the information related to education, so we can make evidence-based policy. Dear student, at the end, I'm going to provide you a lot of MCQ. So please practice that also. And mains question, we are also going to post in our community post. So please practice that as well. So next is the difficult of the death. Even people who are dying, to cremate their body, they also need the Aadhaar card. Otherwise, they are also denying. So that is what the problem. Aadhaar card met dead man and his wife 27 hours later of the cremation because of lack of Aadhaar card. So there is a delay also. So there are also people who don't have any documents. So too late today, don't have my husband death certificate and my children do not have any document. If I had Aadhaar card death certificate, I could have able to apply for this several schemes. So just because some people don't have Aadhaar card, so that is the reason they are being excluded. So technology should help the enabling people. Technology should not exclude the people. That is what our objective. While no doubt we need to improve efficiency, we need to better identification, we need to curb the corruption, but while this cannot be a ground for excluding people. So organizing camp to make Aadhaar card for those belong to the tribal community. In the last 5 months, we have identified 18,000 Katharis. So these are from people. So no, this is what the article, just read it out, you can understand. Then you can give a very good suggestion. Whenever you are giving suggestion in your examination based on the newspaper article, that is what going to fetch you good marks. Why it is going to fetch good marks? The evaluator, they are 60 plus. So they don't read regular, Lakshmikant or Spectrum books that you all are reading. So they regularly reading this newspaper. So whenever you are giving article or reference from the newspaper, they can easily relate it, and that is what led to the good marks. Okay, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is Subhanshu Shukla set for India return after International Space Station. Currently, the Subhanshu Shukla ji is under the quarantine at the USA. So now he is planning to, moving to the India, and after that we are going to celebrate the India Space National Space Celebrations Day from August 22 to 23. ठीक है, New Delhi. So Subhanshu Shukla, his back, a back of astronauts Prashant Nair participated in the Independence Day celebration. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next, this is a very good important article. So whenever you are giving argument about freedom of speech and expression, you can talk about and role of governor also. Governor are disrupting academic autonomy. So university are meant for debate, discussion. It is meant for secular space. It is meant for new idea. But now governor, they are acting as an agent of union government, or even if not union government, they are propagating their agenda to disrupt the academy. This is what said by this article. So social activist Tushar Gandhiji strongly criticized the growing interference by the governor in university, accusing them of acting hitman for union government. The governor, he said, were no longer guardian of the constitution, but in instrument of ideologically control over the opposition ruled state to sabotage governance and disrupt academic autonomy. So the advocating a decentralized model of learning, Mr. Gandhi decries steps to homogenize education instead of ushering system wherein more independent and regional specific. Chali. So next is centers should not have asked the president to issue the reference. So recently we are seeing that there is a case is going on that is being filed by the president reference under Article 143 to clarify whether the Supreme Court can give timeline when Constitution does not mention any timeline for the governor and president to act. So the state of Kerala said that union government should not have advised the President Murmu to issue presidential reference obliquely challenging Tamil Nadu governor case judgment prescribing time limit for the governor to deal with the state bill. That recently Supreme Court passed an order that in case the bill passed by the state government given to the governor, then governor has to act within 3 months. Governor or president has to act within 3 months. The fact that Council of Minister advising president disagree or not agree accept judgment rendered by the Supreme Court is no basis for exercise of the power under Article 143. Because if you look into power under Article 141 of Indian Constitution, If you look into the Article 141 of the Constitution, so it is say that the if yes, here it is given. So if you look into the power, so it is Article 141 of the Constitution. So mandated that law laid down by the Apex Code is binding on all court, including the Chief Minister, Council of Ministers. So that means once the verdict is given by the Supreme Court, so it should be acceptable to everyone. So Union of India has not filed any review or curative petition against the judgment delivered by the Supreme Court in Tamil Nadu case. It has thus accepted judgment. The judgment, having not been assailed or set aside by any invalid constitutional proceeding, has attained the finality and is binding on all concerned. Article 141. देखो, if Supreme Court judgment is not acceptable to the Union government, they can file a review petition or a curative petition. So either, even after a verdict is given by the Supreme Court, either the union government or state government, they can file either the review petition or curative petition. But when the union government is not file a review petition and curative petition, that means they are accepting it. Once you are accepting it, there is no point of making a reference, president reference to the point. So that is what said by the Kerala government and Tamil Nadu government. So how document deficit may risk disenfranchising the poor, eroding trust in the election commission. So the economic location is a major factor in terms of document possessions. The gap extend to the entire family. Only 1 in 10 4 households said adult member has the birth certificate. So you know that in India, when government is failed to provide all this documentation certificates to the people, and even if they provide the document are having full of error. So if we are going to use this document for removing large number of people from the voter list, so that is what led to the suffering of the poor people who are not possessing any document, lack the education. They don't know the process of collecting all this document. Even 10% of Indian population, less than 10% of Indian population is having the birth certificate. So just think of what kind of problem they are going to face. So why it is very much important, recently the special intensive revision drive that has been going on in the Bihar, so that led to the 65 lakh people being excluded from the special intensive revision drive from the Bihar. And election commission is also planning to extend it to the all over the India. Just imagine what kind of consequences is going to have if that is going to happen. So people will lose the faith, trust on the election commission of India. So election commission of India may going to face the credibility or trust issue. ठीक है, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is, some party did not check the voter list at the right time. This is what said by the election commission. Recently, the leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi ji have an allegation against the election commission of India on indulging voter fraud and promoting irregularity to support the BJP government. But election commission hitting back or giving a counter argument that during the publication of electoral roll, Rahul Gandhi the not Rahul Gandhi, the political, the block level officials, the booth level officials of different political party, they need to verify if there is an error. They need to report at that time. Then only election commission could have taken the steps to correct it. Okay. So the appropriate time raise any issue with the electoral roll could have been during the claim and objection period that phase. That was precisely object behind the sharing the electoral roll with the all political party. Okay. So, but opposition party, they are demanding the list you are providing, it should be in a machine readable form and it should be searchable. But election commission is not giving that because they are feeling that it is led to the threat. So the opposition are asking why the election commissions already took down already uploaded machine readable verification from the draft roll. Why it wants CCTV footage to be deleted in 45 days. It submitted before the Apex Court that it was not bound to disclose the reason behind for deletion of the 65 lakh voters. So I think election commission is a constitutional body. It should be disclose everything. I don't think there will be any issue by disclosing. By disclosing, only thing is that election commission will gain the credibility in the eyes of public. So chief election commission and other election commission must clean why they still refuse to provide parties with machine readable electoral roll. So that is what demand by the electoral election, the different political party in India. So next is the Chinese minister arrive for boundary talks. So India will host Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi this weeks. So we have seen that recently there is a tariff war that is going on between India and USA. So after that, India is trying to strengthen its relation with the China. So Wang visit being viewed as a significant development in India diplomatic calendar, as it come day after the high penalty tariff imposed by the USA on India. So this is the sign of support. Recently Chinese government, Chinese Foreign Affairs Ministry, they provided support against imposing sanction by the USA against the India. So MEA spokesperson said that India China have been talks on resumption of the trade through designated terror a trading post, so indicating progress in restoring the bilateral relation between India and China. So during his visit, he also hold 24th round of special representative talk. So in UPSC, they can ask about special representative talks are quite seen in news related to what. So these are related to border talk between India and China. So and they can ask about recently which they can ask about which number of the special representative talk is being held. So dear student, please comment in the comment box. The we are also posting some poll there also. The visit also indicated indicative of the peace with which the India. So the visit also indication of the peace with which India relation with China have been evolving. So recently we have seen that our relations is improving quite well. Okay. So next is major irregularity in the Maharashtra Assembly polls, say independent report. So there is an independent report being published very recently, and they have found that so many irregularity exist in that electoral roll. So after the assembly, so there is a seen that rapid rise in the number of voters, and later on also after the 6 or 5 p.m. they also see that there is rapid rise in the voter also number of electoral polls. So November 2024 poll, Maharashtra recorded sudden late night surge in the vote turnout. At 8 p.m. the turnout is 58, but by midnight it is 66. That means 7.83% jump that led to the 48 lakhs extra voter in the different region. So that is what it is clear suggesting that something may be wrong. So the report alleges that the procedural and technical concern, including the presence of router near the polling station, sudden power cut during the counting, late arrival of EVM at this strong room, failure of the CCTV surveillance, and breach of the strong room. So these are the few instances that led to the people are questioning about it. Okay. चलिए नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल चलते हैं. सो द 50% ऑफ द ईवी ओनर मेक ट्रिप मोर देन 50 किलोमीटर. दिस इज व्हाट सेड बाय द रिपोर्ट. No, this is a very good development. Recently we are seeing that in India people are adopting more EV, so it's a good step to greening and moving towards green also. Just read it, so you'll find. So engineering and textile export continue to grow in July. So these engineering and textile export, we are mostly exporting to USA. So these are facing strong headwind because of protectionism and opposition policy by the US government. The shipment of engineering, textile and apparel goods, which have been large number of MSME exporter, log growth of July with last July. So textile export register 5.8 point growth, and so apparel is 4.75. So we know that currently there is a high tariff that is being going to imposed by the USA. It is 50%. So that is going to impact India's in future. So geopolitics force auto sector shift to the anticipation mode. So recently what happened, there is a geopolitical war or trade war that is going on between USA, China with a different country, including India. China recently blocked the supply of the some rare earth magnets, rare earth minerals that is being used for manufacturing of the magnets in our automobiles. That led to the halt of supply of the automobile. So environmental comprising of geopolitics, supply chain issues, semiconductor shortages have heavily impacted global automobile industry. So these are few things that is impacted global automobile industry. Okay. So how, so you can see, so we have had to build resilience in sourcing, partner ecosystem, location strategy. So the biggest impact on the industry so far has been the changes that are rapid and increasing. So no need to study all these things, but the industry is concerning that in future there might be a war between China and Taiwan. So that led to the complete disruption of the supply. So that might impact the automobile industry. So neo magnet. So narrowing a classic example of geopolitical tension faced by the industry recently. So rare earth material shortage come off in a big issue globally, and neomagnets or neodymium, typically strong magnets that made from alloy from the rare earth mineral that control the China. Recently, China blocked the supply of all the new magnets to the all over the world. So that led to the severe shortage of that material that is being used for manufacturing of the small electrical motors. It is difficult for anyone to make speaker without new magnets, best in class magnets used to speaker for high quality. So just imagine so how our supply are vulnerable if we are depending on China always. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So the scientists turn Escherichia coli bacteria into mercury sensor. Just imagine if our surrounding are polluted, presence of some harmful material. So how we are going to measure that? We can measure that by one way of measuring that. We can use some sensor. Just imagine what happen if we can use some biological molecules like bacteria, virus to sense whether the presence of some harmful material or not. That is what called the biosensor. So Escherichia coli is a bacteria where it is self-maintained. So if we can properly cultivate and provide, so that can provide the presence of the harmful material. So scientists first time they design or modified a Escherichia coli bacteria to sense whether mercury is present or not. So that is what very very effective. So next is connexin protein rally the artery to nursery brain on demand. So if you look into our brain, so our brain size is hardly 20% of our body, but 80% of oxygen is consumed by the brain. So that means huge loss of energy is needed in our brain to perform its activity. So that is what most important. If you are interested, you can go in it, but they are very generic type, very technical answers, so not important for our examination. Scientists find gene that stop rice from breaking. So the rice is a staple food for half of the world population. This data is very important. You need to know that whenever you are talking about right cultivation, importance of rice, or why we need to improve the breeding of the rice, you can say rice is the staple half of the population of the world. So before rice grain can made edible, the outcome layer of the outermost layer of the husk, they are covering. So the mechanical rolling. So now we need to cover that outer layer. Okay, I don't think much is important. Just read this is more than enough. So quieting the brain. So whenever we are administering anyone the anesthesia, so that person is not getting pain. Why this person is not getting pain? So there is a signal. For example, if I am hitting, causing some injury to my hand, so there will be signal that's transmit through this to my brain. But whenever any person is taking anesthesia, so anesthesia tends to block that signal. So that is the reason people, those who are taking the anesthesia, they are not able to feel the pain. They are not able to have the memory during the anesthesia. So how the plastic pollution affect our body? So recently all over the country, world, different country, they meet under the United Nations Environmental Program at Geneva to discuss about the plastic treaty. So now in this treaty, so there is a divided opinion among the different world countries. So entire world is divided on two issues. Some countries they're talking about phasing out of plastic. That means we need to remove plastic its production itself. Second category of country, they are saying management of plastic waste, so that no need to restrict the production. So these India is support of hedging or managing the pollutions. Okay, so despite there is no consensus among all these countries, so but one thing is certain, that plastic is very dangerous. It is causing a lot of health issue among the human beings. So I'm just reading it out, so listen carefully. Around 180 country have failed to find consensus on an internationally binding legal agreement that soughts to restrict the plastic pollutions. Talks in the Geneva remain deadlock on the issue led this week. So, United Nations Environmental Program. So, this is part of the this plastic treaty is negotiated under the United Nations Environmental Program backed solution. So, the country are divided on this issue. Some country they want we need to remove the plastic production itself. Some country they want we need to limit the production of plastic. Okay, so India is in support of we need to restrict the pollution itself, not the plastic production. Okay, so if you look into, so there are around the plastics flexible also implies persistence. Plastic are mixture of various type of including monomer, polymer, so chemical activity. There are more than 60,000 chemical potentially used or present in plastic material product. There is little or no information about potential impact on human health environment by over 10,000 of these chemicals. So, dear student, they can ask about, what are the constituent of the plastics. So that is the reason sometime, you have to study about all these things. So here it is given 400 chemicals of concern present in the plastic. So around 4,000 of chemicals that is concern for our health are already present in the plastic. So they are PVC, polyvinyl chloride, polyurethane, PET, the polyurethane, others. So given that most of the synthetic and non-biodegradable, public opinion has generally focused on recycling or waste management over the time. However, there has been body of scientist investigation how these chemicals are indestructible. They make their way into living organism, into river, ocean, ultimately to the people inside. So now, let's say we have thrown the plastic bottle or anything in the ocean. So ocean that gradually degrade into microplastic, other chemicals that is being eaten or ingested by this fish, and later on we consume this fish. Ultimately, it is coming back to our health. So if you look into the health issue that is being faced by the people, so thyroid function, hypertension, kidney and testicular cancer, then gestational diabetes due to exposure to these chemicals. So the true so, but this study we are conducting for limited period of time. But to understand or to know about true impact, what we need is we need to conduct the longitudinal study. So next important issue is about the microplastic. Already UPSC they ask a question in past also. What is microplastic? Microplastics are plastic smaller than 5 millimeter. So they can refer to the constituent element of variety of additive or plastic product. Given that technology available to detect them relatively recent, they have over the year been found in the blood, breast milk, placenta, bone marrow. While their exact impact on human health is unclear, they are too implicated in wide range of disorder. So what India is doing in plastic? So recently in India, we are banning the single-use plastic. Single-use plastic means plastic that is designed for only single use. For example, the cup, the spoon that is being used for single-use purpose. So dear student, please confirm everything is okay, voice, audio, video, and please participate the quiz if I'm asking something. So there is a ban on the production and use of single-use plastic in nearly 20 states. So these are category of plastic goods that are least reusable, difficult to recycle. Single-use plastic means once you are using, just throw them away. For example, the drinking water bottles. So international negotiation on the global plastic treaty, India and other countries have expressed a reservation, including discussion on health of the plastic treaty, said that these matters are to be taken up the World Health Organization. Thus, plastics is primarily waste management problem as far as India is concerned. So India don't consider that we need to limit the plastic production itself, because India is producing large number of plastic. But our concern is we need to limit, we need to concern about how we are going to manage the plastic waste. If we are properly manage the plastic waste, then plastic is not going to be a problem. Plastic is a problem because we are not able to manage this waste. So what are the challenges confronting the Election Commission of India? Recently, we are seeing that there is allegation, counter allegation about the Election Commission of India, and Election Commission of India is a body with sole responsibilities to conduct the free and fair election. So just we need to read it so that you will understand. So leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi ji accused the Election Commission of massive electoral roll manipulation in Mahadevpura Assembly constituency of the Karnataka. And later on, the Election Commission also decided to hold this special intensive revision drive in Bihar, and they are also in plan to extend that special intensive revision drive all over India. So that led to the controversy. That led to the exclusion of large number of voters from the list. So, dear student, very good morning to all of you. So I hope everyone is fine and okay. So if you have any suggestion, any feedback, please write in the comment box. I'll incorporate that in my during my discussion. And we are conducting this discussion around 8:30 a.m. in the morning every day. So please join at that time. So next is, what is the mandate of Election Commission? Election Commission of India is a permanent constitutional body under Article 324. So Article 24 of the Indian Constitution, vested with Election Commission superintendent direction and control of entire process of conduction of election to the parliament, state legislature of every state, and office of president and vice president. So 4 elections. So dear student, tell me in the comment box who conduct elections to the member of legislative council, not assembly. Like, a state, there is 2 house. Another house is called MLC. Who conduct elections to the MLC? It is State Election Commission or Election Commission of India or special body that is being created by the act of the state legislator. So let me see how many of you know that. Originally, the commission has only one chief election commission. It is expanded to now it is consisting of the 3 members, 1 chief election commission and 2 election commission. So why there has been a controversy about appointment process? So recently parliament passed a law that provide a 3-member committee to appoint the election commission. Parliament passed a new law governing appointment of election commission, namely the chief election commission and other election commission appointment condition of service act 2023. So what this act is talking about, they provide for election commissions to be appointed by 3-member selection committee that comprising of prime minister, union minister, and leader of opposition. You can see here 2 members from the government. That means government is having upper say as compared to the opposition party. So opposition have objected to this, saying that committee gave little room of the dissent as prime minister and union minister are part of the government and ruling 2-1 majority always in favor of the government. So why election commission role is in spotlight? So recently there is allegations that during Maharashtra State Assembly polls, so many voter lists have been added to the list of electoral roll. So that is what one accusation. Second one, uh, the allegation given by the Rahul Gandhi ji also. There has been the going on the special intensive revision drive in Bihar. So that led to the 65 lakh voter have been excluded from the list. So these are the few reasons for the election commission credibility is at crisis. So what the Supreme Court directed? Supreme Court directed election commissions to publish the enumerated booth-wise list of the 65 lakh voter included, not included in the draft roll. Supreme Court said that you need to publish all the name of the 65 electoral roll. Where the person of the electorate, those name is not published and reason for them not published in the names. Okay. Supreme Court to nudge the election commissions towards following the basics norms of natural justice and fairness in Bihar SIA. You need to ensure that the electoral process need to be very fair. It should not be create a lot of problem. You need to provide principle of natural justice means, some principle need to be followed to ensure justice. That means, no one should be judge of its own case. There should be properly hard before punishing anyone. That is what called principle of natural justice. While error can be crept into the voter list over time, answer to that, not mass disenfranchisement as election commission is attempting. So this is what said by the election commission. Then what about the migrant voter? So during special intensive revision drive, so the migrant worker have to travel long distance to register their vote. But it is very difficult for the migrant worker and they don't have money to travel. So election commission need to be factored into that and create a system that is very easy, transparent, and low cost for this voter to register. So what has been political fallout? So opposition opt the ante of this manipulation of electoral roll. So they repeatedly blocked the parliament functioning, and because of that, parliament function is paralyzed. So to protect the voter of this country and democracy, whatever has to be done, we will do it. This is what said by Janata Dal Rajya MP. So next important article of the day is, so is the income tax law more accessible? So what are the change from the Income Tax Act 1961? What are its implications? So recently, the Parliament passed new income tax bill. That is what aimed to replace the Income Tax Act 1981 that is being passed by the Parliament. So no, there are so many provisions being included to make this Income Tax Act more simple, more small, and it is giving a lot of clarification and language is quite simple. So why new law needed? So Income Tax Act 1961 is outdated. That means it is around 50-60-year-old law. Over the year, there has been amended number of time, leading to income tax legislation India being convolved and difficult for average citizens to understand. Because of multiple amendment, making this is it's quite difficult for the average citizens to understand. It also provides for tax officials to ample scope for harassment due to discretion and law afford them. The new bill the number of chapter has been brought down to 23. So earlier bill there is a lot of chapters, so we have simplified and reduced to 23, and the number of section 536 to 536 from 819. So provide greater clarity. New bill also increasing number of tables from 57 to 80, 57 from 18. That means we are providing more number of tables for understanding people. So a number of formulae to 46 from 6. So most importantly, the language has been greatly simplified. Jargon have been removed as much as possible. So example have been provided where needed. So that means basic aim is to replace, basic aim of this new enactment is to make our text law more simple, more user friendly, more understandable by the common man, so that whenever law is very simple, that prevent the avoidance of the tax, that is increasing the our tax collection. Why there is a second version of the bill? So initially the parliament, the finance ministry introduced the bill in the parliament, and later on this bill is referred to the select committee of the parliament, and the parliament, the select committee, they have debated and they have recommendation, and after that, on the basis of that recommendation, finance ministry again reintroduced in the bill in the parliament, and that led to the passage of the bill. Okay. Okay, so what are the changes in the new bill? So according to Nirmala Sitharaman, so clear the, so this new bill, so they have provide very much simplified version. So one controversial issue in that bill is that it give power to the income tax officials. They can enter into your home, they can enter into access to your digital device. So that is what also led to the violation of your right to privacy under Article 21. So I'm just reading it out very, just read it. The provision relating to search by the income tax official has been tweaked to include some concerning feature. The original Income Tax Act required anybody found to be control or possession of any document electronic form to be provided authorized officer. There is necessary facility to inspect such books, accounts, or the documents also authorized acceptable. So in case key is not available, that means income tax officer can forcibly open your locks, open your account book, anything they can open. Now same is applicable for your digital record. So a new law takes the concept to step further. It is now the anybody in position of control of electronic documents or information must not only provide to the tax officials reasonable technicals and other assistance, but this also sharing the passwords, as the law set no limit on what electronic information tax official may need to access. This means access must be share the password of their social media. That means there is no limit, so they can ask and access all your documents. So that is what led to the, it might be in conflict with your right to privacy. Let's say the income tax officials, in name of searching anything, so they can enter into your personal domain, they can search anything. So what is the justification? While a few members of the committee called the dilution of the section in their dissent notes, the select committee as a whole accepted the government argument that a lot of relevant financial information is shared over the messaging service and stored in personal mail. No doubt we need to give this access, but at the same time there should be strong protection so that it should not be misused or abused by any income tax officials. So recently we have seen a summit being held between USA and Russia in the Alaska. So on this backdrop, let's discuss about the Alaska. So Alaska once used to be a territory of under the Russian control, but it is being sold to USA in 1867. The former Russian region sold to USA in 1867. We still bear the stresses of Russian culture influence and hosted this recent summit. So if you see about importance of the Alaska, so you'll find that see, Alaska was viewed as a barren frozen wasteland. The subsequent discovery of the natural gas reserve and rare earth minerals, however, changed the public perception. In 1896, gold was found in the Yukon, and prospects arrived seeing future fortune in this region. So, though it is once viewed as a barren land, now a lot of minerals are found in this region. So, Alaska also strategically important region for the USA during its Cold War also. So next is Madam President. So recently in Kerala film industry, this is Malayalam film industry. So they have appointed first woman president for very first time. So actor Sweta Menon broke the glass ceiling in the associate of Malayalam movie as a woman president. But recently there is a report being published on the Malayalam film industry. So by the HEMA panel, so they have revealed how of the challenges of women they are facing in the Malayalam film industry and what kind of discrimination they are facing. So after the coming into power, so you can see here, actor has been elected for first woman president of Association of Malayalam Movie Artist, which was rocked by a revelation of the HEMA panel. So whenever you are talking about right of women, sexual abuse, or the protection of women at this workplace, so you can talk about finding of the HEMA panel. So I'm just reading it out, so you can see the HEMA committee report on the problem faced by the women in the Malayalam film industry. The committee was disbanded as allegation of sexual abuse and misbehavior were raised against member, including office bearer. So you can see about the Malayalam film industry body, they themselves involved in all this activity being said by this HEMA panel. HEMA panel report was published while asserting that she had also faced illegal ban. In movie industry, if any woman talk about any powerful male person, so they simply face the illegal ban. चलिए, there is no deal on Ukraine war until there is a deal. So recently, though the US President Donald Trump and the Putin, they have not achieved any deals, but at least they have come to a negotiation table and they are talking to one another. So we are hopeful that they'll find a deal. So they have made sure that comprehensive long-term protection of the security of the goals. Russian. So you can see here. So in a social media post, after the talk, Donald Trump said that it was determined by all the best way to end the horrific war between Russia and Ukraine to go directly to a peace agreement which would end the war. And mere ceasefire agreement often time do not hold off. That means both Russia and Ukraine, they need to have a negotiation and find a peace. So dear student, I think so many students have joined now. So dear student, very good morning to all of you. Hope you all are doing well. So if you have any suggestion, feedback, please comment in the comment box. So according to your comment, we'll make video. So the Russia, on the other hand, have long maintained that they are willing to end the war only through the comprehensive peace deal. So Russia want a comprehensive peace deal. So it is appear that Donald Trump, after Alaska talk, have shifted pushing from the ceasefire, which demanded by the Ukraine to ensure a peace deal. So Donald Trump earlier focused on the ceasefire. Now it is shifting from the ceasefire to signing of the agreement. Moscow has clearly laid out four demand. Firstly, Ukraine must a neutral country, meaning that no NATO membership, no NATO troops on its territory. So first one is Ukraine need to be a neutral country. Second is five obstinate of Russia annex. That means the Crimea, Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson must be formally recognized as part of the Russian Federation. So, dear student, please remember this location and map this location. So they can ask about this location, this region are located in which part of the world. Already UPSC is asking time and again multiple questions from this portion. Okay, so please locate this region. So next, third, Ukraine must be demilitarized, and Ukraine, despite the battlefield setbacks, say it is not safe territory for the peace. But Ukraine are saying that we are not going to accept this proposal, and European Union is fearful of Russian victory may given more embolden Russia to fight again and against the Europe. So Alaska summit could open a new era of engagement between the Washington and Moscow little over. So Russia, which have made dramatic territorial gain in eastern Ukraine in recent days, face a real pressure on the battlefield to make the concession. Chali? This is what the news is. So Xi Jinping said, the G said China will not invade Taiwan while I am in office. This is what claim made by the Donald Trump. For that, I think we need to provide Nobel Peace Prize to the Donald Trump. Okay? So on Janmashtami, the UNIS, the caretaker government of the Bangladesh, to uphold communal harmony. This is what said by Muhammad Yunis. Next is Naughty Delights. So the Kashmir record the bumper almond harvest decision, so boosting farmer income. So however, the weather shift impact sinking farmland remain the key concern. Recently this year, so in Kashmir, they have produced huge amount of bumper harvest of the almond. So that is what famous for the Kashmir moderate climate, fertile soil, and abundant water resource provide ideal condition for almond cultivations. And that almond harvest is very labor intensive, so that provide employment to all the people, like, family, farmer, you can say about women, children participate in the traditional activity. So almond is used in a lot of traditional cuisine. So like, sweet dish. So they are being prepared, and local people, they prefer the local almond because of its sweet taste and good life. Almond harvested remain celebratory events in the Kashmir rural life, blending natural beauty with traditional farming practices. So you can see about here how they are harvesting the almonds. So these are almonds. The process. So dear student, this is all about the 17th August, the Hindu newspaper analysis. So dear student, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and please do share this video with your friends so that maximum number of students can benefit. And dear student, if you have any feedback, if you want any suggestion in anything, so please write in the comment box. So according to your feedback, we are going to make this video. And we are also planning to provide the MCQs in our community section also, 3 to 4 daily answer rating on the basis of the current affairs. So please read here and the practice this question that we are providing in the comment box. Chaliye dear student, we'll have to end here. Bye bye. Take care. Have a good day. Happy Sunday. Enjoy this Sunday. Find some time to enjoy this Sunday. Chaliye, bye.